The Art of Mind Reading, written and published by Sonic Digest. Mind reading is often associated with a mythical ability to delve into someone's thoughts as if they were an open book. While this idea makes for compelling storytelling in fiction, the real-world concept of mind reading is much more grounded and attainable. It involves intuitive communication, an acute sensitivity to the subtle, often unconscious cues that people express through their body language, tone, and behavior. These signals, while not direct translations of specific thoughts, provide valuable insight into a person's mental and emotional state. This skill is not magic or paranormal, but is built on a deep understanding of human behavior. Through careful observation and finely tuned perception, one can read the emotions, motivations, and intentions that underlie someone's words or actions. It is a dance of empathy, where attuned individuals pick up on the rhythms and nuances of others, allowing them to navigate the flow of interactions with remarkable accuracy. The difference between the fictional version of mind reading and the practical version lies in the tools used. Fiction paints a picture of telepathy, an effortless direct access to another person's inner world. In contrast, practical mind reading relies on psychological and nonverbal cues, the micro-expressions that flit across someone's face for a split second, the slight shifts in posture that reveal discomfort or confidence, and the tone of voice that signals hidden emotion. These clues, while subtle, offer an intricate map of a person's thoughts and feelings. At the core of practical mind reading lies an intricate web of neurological and psychological processes. The human brain is wired for social interaction, with specific areas dedicated to interpreting facial expressions, vocal intonations, and body movements. Neuroscience has illuminated how mirror neurons play a role in helping us empathize and connect with others, allowing us to mirror their emotional state internally. These neurons fire not just when we perform an action, but when we observe someone else doing so, giving us a sense of shared experience. This is why, when we see someone smile or frown, we often instinctively feel a version of their emotion ourselves. Additionally, psychology delves into the mechanisms behind how we interpret and predict others' behavior. The concept of theory of mind, our ability to attribute mental states such as beliefs, desires, and emotions to ourselves and others, forms the foundation of mind reading. From early childhood, we begin to develop this cognitive ability, allowing us to understand that others have thoughts and perspectives different from our own. As we mature, we refine this capacity, becoming more adept at reading the complex signals that people send out. Understanding behavioral cues also taps into our capacity for pattern recognition. Humans are excellent at detecting patterns, and over time, with enough exposure to social interactions, we subconsciously build a library of behavioral patterns that allow us to anticipate someone's reactions. Whether it's the slight tension in a person's jaw signaling that they're holding back anger, or the gentle nodding that shows agreement, these small signs become part of a larger tapestry that we intuitively read. In essence, mind reading is about using the brain's natural abilities to observe, process, and interpret the signals that are constantly being exchanged in any interaction. This understanding of others on a deeper, more instinctual level is what enhances our capacity for connection and rapport. The ability to read minds in the practical sense opens up a world of possibilities in both personal and professional settings. In relationships, the skill can lead to a deeper connection with those around us, as we become more attuned to their needs and emotions. When we can sense what someone is feeling, even when they haven't spoken a word, we are better positioned to offer support, empathy, or even silence when needed. It enables us to read the room more effectively, fostering smoother interactions and reducing misunderstandings. In professional environments, the benefits are just as profound. Whether negotiating a deal, managing a team, or engaging in client relations, the ability to interpret nonverbal signals can be a game changer. For instance, during a business negotiation, subtle cues can reveal whether the other party is confident, hesitant, or bluffing. These insights allow for more strategic responses, giving the person with these skills a distinct advantage. Moreover, mind reading enhances emotional intelligence, our ability to recognize and manage both our own emotions and the emotions of others. It provides the framework for better leadership, as emotionally intelligent leaders can inspire trust, motivate teams, and navigate complex interpersonal dynamics. In sales and marketing, understanding a customer's unspoken reservations can make the difference between closing a deal and losing an opportunity. On a broader level, mastering the art of mind reading cultivates empathy and social harmony. In a world where communication is increasingly fast-paced and superficial, being able to truly understand others allows us to connect more meaningfully. It helps bridge gaps in communication, especially in situations where people may struggle to articulate their thoughts or feelings. The ability to read someone without them having to explain themselves creates a deeper level of trust and respect, fostering stronger, more authentic relationships. Mind reading, therefore, is not just a tool for personal gain. It is a key that unlocks the deeper layers of human interaction, offering a pathway to more compassionate and effective communication. The benefits of this skill reach far beyond simple interactions. They touch the very essence of what it means to relate to and understand one another in a meaningful way. Chapter 1. Understanding the Foundations of Nonverbal Communication. Body language, the first language. Before a word is ever spoken, the body communicates volumes. In every interaction, from a casual meeting to a high-stakes negotiation, our posture, gestures, and facial expressions silently narrate what we truly feel. Body language is an unspoken primal dialogue that transcends cultures and languages. It is the original language, an instinctual means of conveying emotions, intentions, and attitudes long before verbal speech became a dominant form of communication. When two people meet, the first thing they do, often unconsciously, is assess each other's body language. A person standing tall, shoulders back, and chest open projects confidence and readiness, while someone slouching with crossed arms signals discomfort, defensiveness, or disinterest. The space between individuals also speaks loudly. Standing too close may imply dominance or intimacy, while standing too far suggests detachment or caution. Every gesture, no matter how subtle, from a handshake to a simple shift in weight, can alter the dynamics of an exchange. Facial expressions carry immense weight in this silent language. A smile, genuine or forced, can ease tension or build rapport. Raised eyebrows can indicate curiosity or surprise, while a furrowed brow might show concern or confusion. Even the eyes, often called the window to the soul, reveal more than words can say. Sustained eye contact demonstrates focus and sincerity, but prolonged staring might signal aggression or discomfort. On the other hand, avoiding eye contact can communicate uncertainty, fear, or deceit. Gestures, too, hold the power to amplify or contradict verbal messages. An open hand extended during conversation conveys honesty and openness, while clenched fists or aggressive hand movements suggest tension or anger. These movements are not just embellishments to speech. They are crucial to conveying meaning and emotion. A person who is aware of how their body moves can communicate with precision, enhancing the clarity and impact of their words. Micro-expressions, the subtle clues. At the heart of reading body language lies the ability to detect micro-expressions, those fleeting, involuntary facial expressions that betray our true feelings, even when we try to hide them. While most people can mask their emotions behind a polite smile or neutral expression, the truth often slips out in these rapid bursts, lasting only a fraction of a second. These micro-expressions are universal across all cultures and reveal core emotions such as happiness, sadness, anger, fear, disgust, surprise, and contempt. Training yourself to recognize these subtle cues requires acute observation and practice. The key lies in paying attention to the sudden, almost imperceptible shifts in facial muscles that accompany changes in mood. For instance, a momentary tightening around the eyes or lips can indicate concealed anger, while a brief downturn of the mouth might reveal sadness, even if the person is attempting to maintain composure. Once recognized, these micro-expressions offer a window into a person's internal state, enabling you to gauge their real feelings with accuracy. To train your mind to catch these rapid shifts, it helps to slow down and study human expressions in real time. Observing how people's faces change during everyday interactions or paying close attention to emotional scenes in movies can sharpen your awareness. Over time, you will learn to pick up on these subconscious signals and understand their significance, allowing you to respond more effectively in conversations and relationships. Reading between the lines, verbal cues. While body language and facial expressions form the foundation of nonverbal communication, verbal cues, particularly how something is said rather than what is said, are just as telling. Tone, pitch, pace, and word choice often communicate more than the actual content of speech. People rarely say exactly what they mean, and these verbal subtleties are where the truth often resides. The tone of voice can be a powerful indicator of someone's underlying emotions or intentions. A calm and steady tone might indicate confidence and control, while a quivering or hesitant voice could betray anxiety or uncertainty, even if the words themselves suggest the opposite. Similarly, when someone speaks too quickly, it may reflect nervousness or a desire to conceal something, while a deliberate, slow pace often conveys thoughtfulness or even manipulation as the speaker tries to craft their message carefully. Pauses in conversation are equally revealing. A well-timed pause can signify reflection, but a sudden or awkward silence might indicate discomfort, hesitation, or even a hidden lie. Word choice, too, can serve as a subtle but powerful clue to what someone is truly thinking. Certain phrases, when repeated frequently, can hint at deeper concerns or insecurities. A person who continually reassures you that everything is fine may, in reality, be masking frustration or dissatisfaction. Similarly, overly complex language or excessive detail can sometimes be a sign of deception, as the speaker attempts to obscure the truth beneath layers of unnecessary information. By paying attention to these verbal cues along with the body language and micro-expressions that accompany them, you begin to read between the lines of what is being said. This allows you to navigate conversations with more insight and depth, understanding not just the words but the underlying thoughts, emotions, and motivations behind them. Recognizing these layers in communication equips you with the ability to respond more thoughtfully, influencing outcomes and deepening your connections with others. Chapter 2. Developing your intuition. The role of intuition in mind reading. Intuition is often described as a gut feeling, a sense of knowing without a clear, logical explanation. When it comes to mind reading, intuition serves as a guiding force, helping to decode the complex, nonverbal language people express. It operates below the surface, blending conscious observation with the subconscious mind's ability to recognize patterns, emotional undercurrents, and subtle cues in the behavior of others. While many rely solely on spoken words, those attuned to their intuition can sense the unspoken truths that often lie beneath. The power of intuition in mind reading is rooted in the brain's ability to process vast amounts of information quickly and unconsciously. Our minds are constantly gathering data from the people around us, body movements, tone shifts, slight hesitations in speech, and making rapid assessments of what these signals mean. What feels like a sudden hunch or intuitive insight is, in fact, the result of our brain synthesizing this information into a clear understanding of another person's thoughts or emotions. The more we learn to listen to this internal wisdom, the better we become at interpreting the nonverbal language that flows between individuals. This form of perception is built through experience and emotional attunement. Over time, through repeated interactions and heightened awareness, we begin to notice the recurring patterns in human behavior that our intuition can latch onto. These patterns form the basis for mind reading, as they reveal the connections between outward actions and inner thoughts. By trusting this subconscious sense of recognition, we allow intuition to shape our understanding of others, making it a powerful tool in navigating human relationships. Tapping into your own mind. To develop the skill of mind reading, one must first master the art of reading their own mind. Self-awareness is key. The ability to understand and regulate your own emotions and thoughts creates a solid foundation for interpreting others. When your mind is cluttered with personal doubts, anxieties, or preconceived notions, it clouds your perception of external cues. Only when your mind is clear can you accurately sense what others are feeling. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection are invaluable in this process, as they help to quiet the noise of the external world and bring focus to the inner self. Meditation and mindfulness are not just techniques for relaxation. They are tools for sharpening your mental faculties. Regular meditation teaches you to observe your thoughts without judgment, allowing you to become more attuned to the subtle emotions and sensations that arise in the mind. This practice extends beyond your inner world, as it enhances your ability to notice small details in others that would normally be overlooked. In conversations, you become more present, more in tune with the other person's emotional state, and more aware of the silent signals they are sending out. Self-reflection, on the other hand, is about examining your reactions, biases, and emotional responses to situations. It involves looking inward to understand why you interpret certain behaviors in specific ways. The more you understand your own triggers, emotional patterns, and thought processes, the better equipped you are to separate your internal landscape from what you are observing in others. This separation is crucial because it prevents you from projecting your own emotions or biases onto someone else, allowing you to read them with greater clarity. By making these reflective practices a part of your daily routine, you start to clear away the mental blocks that prevent you from accessing your intuitive abilities. You become more grounded, more perceptive, and more in control of your emotions, creating a stable foundation from which your mind-reading abilities can flourish. Building confidence in your interpretations. One of the greatest challenges in developing mind-reading skills is learning to trust your interpretations. Intuition often speaks in subtle whispers, not loud proclamations. It's easy to second-guess your gut feelings, especially when they seem to contradict what is being said aloud. But with time and practice, you can learn to rely on your instincts with confidence. Confidence in mind reading comes from the courage to act on your intuitive insights, even when you're not entirely certain of their accuracy. The more you trust your intuition, the sharper it becomes. Start by testing your interpretations in low-stakes situations. In casual conversations, observe the body language, tone, and verbal cues of those around you. Pay attention to their micro-expressions and fleeting emotional shifts. Then, quietly reflect on what these cues may be telling you. With time, you'll notice patterns emerging, and your intuitive hunches will begin to align more closely with reality. Every interaction offers an opportunity to refine your ability to read minds. Consider how someone's tone may change when they are excited, nervous, or hiding something. Watch how their body reacts when they are uncomfortable or trying to impress. Take note of how their words either align with or contradict their nonverbal behavior. As you accumulate experience, your interpretations will become more nuanced, and you'll gain the confidence to trust your gut when the stakes are higher. Building this skill doesn't happen overnight. It requires patience, attentiveness, and, above all, practice. By observing others in various contexts, whether in professional settings, casual social gatherings, or even through media like films and interviews, you can fine-tune your ability to read people with precision. Trust in your growing ability to decode the signals around you, knowing that each observation is sharpening your understanding of the human mind. In the journey to mastering the art of mind reading, confidence is key. It allows you to act on your intuition without hesitation, forging deeper connections with others and navigating complex social dynamics with ease. The more you practice, the more you will realize that mind reading is not just about interpreting external cues. It's about understanding the flow of energy and emotion that constantly circulates between individuals, enriching your interactions and relationships in profound ways. Chapter 3. Analyzing emotions through behavioral cues. Identifying emotional states. Human emotions are often reflected in the way we move, speak, and interact with the world around us. Each emotional state has its own set of behavioral cues, allowing those who are observant to glimpse beneath the surface and identify what someone is truly feeling. Recognizing these emotions through behavior involves looking beyond the obvious and tuning into the subtle shifts in demeanor, posture, and facial expressions. Anger often manifests in the tightening of the body, as if the person is bracing for a confrontation. The jaw clenches, the brows furrow, and the hands may ball into fists. Movements can become sharp and forceful, as though the individual is trying to assert control over their environment. In conversation, anger may show itself through a clipped, fast-paced tone or abrupt silences. A person trying to suppress their anger might avoid eye contact or engage in exaggeratedly calm gestures, betraying their internal struggle. Fear, on the other hand, tends to shrink the body. Shoulders hunch, and the person may instinctively pull away or create physical distance, as if trying to shield themselves from a perceived threat. Eyes widen, as the brain switches into heightened alertness, scanning the surroundings for danger. Speech can become hesitant, with frequent pauses or a quivering voice as fear disrupts the flow of communication. Nervous gestures, such as fidgeting, tapping fingers, or shifting weight, reveal the internal turmoil of someone grappling with anxiety or uncertainty. Sadness is often marked by a noticeable drop in energy. The posture may slouch and movements become slower, more deliberate. The face tends to relax, with drooping eyelids and a mouth that curves downward, revealing the emotional heaviness. A person experiencing deep sadness might struggle to maintain eye contact, as though they are retreating inward to avoid exposing their vulnerability. The voice, too, becomes softer, sometimes barely audible, reflecting the weight of unexpressed emotion. In contrast, joy radiates outward through both verbal and nonverbal cues. A person filled with joy stands taller, moves with energy, and engages with the world in a more open and inviting way. The face lights up with a genuine smile, eyes crinkling at the corners, as the emotion spills out from within. Laughter, animated gestures, and an upbeat tone in speech are all signs of a person feeling happiness. This type of energy is contagious, drawing others into the emotional experience and creating a shared connection. Detecting deception and lies. Deception is a complex act, one that requires a person to maintain control over their verbal and nonverbal behavior while concealing the truth. Yet despite the best efforts of a skilled liar, certain cues often betray their attempts to deceive. Lies create cognitive and emotional strain, and this internal conflict often leaks out in subtle, involuntary behaviors. One of the most telling signs of deception is inconsistency between what is said and how it is said. A person telling the truth tends to align their words, tone, and body language naturally. However, when someone is lying, their body may betray them. For instance, a person who verbally expresses confidence while displaying signs of nervousness, such as avoiding eye contact, fidgeting, or shifting uncomfortably, creates a dissonance that suggests dishonesty. Facial microexpressions are particularly revealing when it comes to deception. These brief, involuntary facial movements can betray the liar's true emotions, even if they are trying to hide them. For example, a fleeting look of fear or guilt might flash across the face before the person resumes their neutral expression. A slight, almost imperceptible tightening of the mouth or a twitch around the eyes can indicate the stress of trying to maintain a falsehood. Another key indicator is overcompensation. When someone is lying, they may over-explain their story, offering unnecessary details in an attempt to make it sound more convincing. This verbosity often signals that the speaker is trying too hard to sell their version of events. In contrast, someone telling the truth is more likely to be direct and concise. Liars may also overemphasize their honesty, repeatedly assuring you they are being truthful, which paradoxically raises suspicion. Detecting lies also involves paying attention to the person's physical behavior. Liars tend to display nervous tics, such as scratching their nose, touching their face, or repeatedly clearing their throat. These small gestures are often unconscious attempts to relieve the tension they feel while telling a falsehood. Additionally, liars often avoid direct confrontation, positioning their body away from the person they are deceiving or creating physical barriers, like crossing their arms or placing objects between themselves and others. Empathy, stepping into another's shoes. Empathy is the key to understanding what others are feeling without them needing to say a word. It is the ability to step into another's shoes, to experience their emotions as if they were your own. When you cultivate empathy, you not only become more attuned to others' emotions, but you also build a bridge of connection that allows for deeper, more meaningful communication. Using empathy to read someone's emotions requires both observation and emotional attunement. It begins with paying close attention to their physical and verbal cues, how they carry themselves, how they speak, and the emotions that flicker across their face. But empathy goes beyond observation. It requires you to feel what they are feeling. This process happens when you imagine what it might be like to be in their situation, experiencing the same emotions and challenges. By doing so, you gain insight into their mental state, allowing you to respond with greater understanding and sensitivity. Empathy also involves suspending judgment. To truly connect with another's emotional experience, you must set aside your own biases and assumptions, allowing yourself to perceive the world as they see it. This openness fosters trust and creates a space where people feel safe sharing their true emotions, even the ones they might normally hide. Through this emotional alignment, you can gain access to the deeper layers of their mind, sensing their hopes, fears, and motivations. The power of empathy lies in its ability to break down barriers. When someone feels understood, they become more open and honest, revealing thoughts and feelings they might otherwise keep hidden. This vulnerability strengthens relationships, making communication more authentic and less guarded. By stepping into another's emotional world, you are able to read their mind more effectively, not through manipulation, but through a genuine connection that allows you to feel what they are feeling and understand what they are thinking. Emotional attunement, sharpened by empathy, is an essential skill in mind reading. It transforms interactions from mere exchanges of words into deep, intuitive understanding. As you cultivate this ability, you will find that reading others' emotions becomes less about observing behavioral cues and more about feeling the emotional energy they project. In this way, empathy becomes the most powerful tool for decoding the hidden language of the mind. Chapter 4: Advanced Techniques for Mind Reading. Mind reading through eye contact. Eye contact serves as a powerful window into the mind, revealing a wealth of information about a person's internal state. Eyes are often described as windows to the soul because they can convey emotions and intentions more transparently than words. Observing eye movements and pupil dilation can provide critical insights into what someone is thinking or feeling. When someone is engaged or interested, their eyes often remain focused, with pupils dilated slightly, as a sign of attentiveness. In contrast, when someone is uncomfortable or disengaged, their eye contact may become fleeting or avoidant. Rapid blinking, shifting gaze, or looking away can indicate discomfort, distraction, or deceit. For instance, when a person is fabricating information, they might avoid sustained eye contact, fearing that their eyes will betray their dishonesty. Pupil dilation is another key indicator of emotional response. When someone is excited, attracted, or interested, their pupils tend to dilate. This response is largely involuntary and reflects a heightened state of arousal. Conversely, constricted pupils can signal discomfort, anxiety, or disinterest. By observing these subtle changes, you can gain deeper insights into a person's true feelings and level of engagement. Effective use of eye contact can also help in creating deeper connections and understanding others' intentions. Prolonged eye contact fosters a sense of trust and rapport, often leading to more open and honest communication. It signals confidence and attentiveness, which can make others feel more valued and heard. However, it's essential to balance eye contact. Excessive staring can create discomfort and anxiety. Understanding the cultural and individual differences in eye contact norms is also crucial, as expectations can vary widely. The role of personal space and proxemics. Personal space, or proxemics, refers to the physical distance individuals maintain between themselves and others, which can reveal much about their comfort level and mental state. This spatial behavior is deeply ingrained and often subconscious, providing clues about how people perceive their environment and their relationships with those around them. When someone maintains a greater distance, it typically indicates a desire for privacy or a feeling of unease. For instance, In a professional setting, a person who keeps a significant amount of space between themselves and others may be signaling a need for formality or distance. On the other hand, a person who leans in closer or reduces the physical gap might be expressing openness, warmth, or a desire to connect on a more personal level. Proxemics also play a role in understanding power dynamics. Individuals in positions of authority often occupy more central or commanding spaces, while those with less power may position themselves on the periphery. For example, in meetings or social gatherings, leaders and influential figures tend to take up more prominent positions, either physically or through strategic placement. Observing these spatial arrangements can provide insights into hierarchical structures and social influence. Cultural norms significantly influence personal space expectations, making it essential to consider these differences when interpreting proxemics. In some cultures, close proximity is a sign of friendliness and connection, while in others, it may be perceived as intrusive. Being attuned to these variations helps in accurately reading social interactions and avoiding misunderstandings. Reading group dynamics. Group behavior often reveals underlying structures and relationships that are not immediately apparent in individual interactions. Analyzing how people interact within a group can uncover power structures, alliances, and unspoken tensions that shape the group's overall dynamics. In any group setting, observing who gravitates toward whom can provide insights into social hierarchies and alliances. For instance, individuals who frequently engage in side conversations or share inside jokes often have established connections that may indicate closer relationships or mutual interests. Identifying these social bonds can help in understanding group cohesion and the nature of interpersonal relationships. Leadership dynamics are also crucial in group analysis. Leaders often exhibit distinct behaviors that influence group behavior, such as taking central positions in discussions, guiding the conversation, or making decisions. Observing how others respond to these leaders, whether they defer to them, challenge their authority, or seek their approval, can shed light on the group's power structure and decision-making processes. Unspoken tensions within a group can be revealed through nonverbal cues such as body language, facial expressions, and changes in group interaction patterns. For example, a sudden shift in group behavior, such as increased tension or avoidance, might indicate emerging conflicts or disagreements. By paying attention to these subtle cues, you can gain a clearer understanding of the group's internal dynamics and address any underlying issues. Additionally, group dynamics often reflect collective emotions and attitudes. The mood of a group can shift based on various factors, including external events, internal conflicts, or changes in leadership. By observing these shifts and the group's overall energy, you can gauge the emotional climate and its impact on group interactions. Overall, analyzing group behavior requires a keen eye for detail and an understanding of how individual actions contribute to the collective dynamic. By observing these interactions, you gain valuable insights into the group's underlying structure, relationships, and emotional state, enhancing your ability to navigate and influence group settings effectively. Chapter 5. Mind Reading in Relationships. Enhancing Communication in Personal Relationships. In personal relationships, the ability to read minds can greatly enhance communication and deepen connections. By applying mind reading techniques, you can gain a clearer understanding of what your partner, friends, or family members are truly feeling and thinking. This heightened awareness enables you to respond more empathetically and effectively, fostering stronger and more supportive relationships. Understanding nonverbal cues such as body language and facial expressions allows you to perceive emotions that might not be explicitly stated. For example, a partner's subtle sigh or a friend's shift in posture can indicate underlying stress or dissatisfaction. Recognizing these signs enables you to address concerns proactively and offer support before issues escalate. This level of attentiveness demonstrates care and consideration, which can significantly strengthen the bond between individuals. Active listening plays a crucial role in enhancing communication. By fully engaging with what the other person is saying and paying attention to their tone and nonverbal signals, You can grasp the full context of their message. This approach not only helps in understanding their perspective, but also in responding in a manner that aligns with their emotional state, thereby improving the quality of interactions. Being mindful of your own body language and emotional responses is equally important. Your reactions and expressions can influence how others perceive and interpret your intentions. Maintaining open and approachable nonverbal cues, such as nodding and maintaining eye contact, encourages more honest and open communication, which is essential for nurturing relationships. Building trust and connection. Trust and connection are foundational elements in any strong relationship. Mind-reading techniques contribute significantly to building these elements by enabling you to understand and respond to the unspoken needs and feelings of others. When you accurately perceive and address the emotions and thoughts of those around you, it fosters a deeper sense of trust and emotional intimacy. Nonverbal communication, including gestures and facial expressions, plays a pivotal role in this process. Positive body language, such as mirroring and maintaining a relaxed posture, can convey empathy and reassurance. These actions signal that you are fully present and attuned to the other person's feelings, which helps in establishing trust and creating a safe space for open dialogue. Understanding emotional states through subtle cues also allows you to validate and acknowledge others' feelings effectively. Expressing empathy and showing genuine concern for their emotions strengthens the emotional connection and enhances the overall quality of the relationship. When individuals feel heard and understood, they are more likely to reciprocate with trust and openness. Building trust also involves being consistent and reliable in your responses. When you consistently respond to others' needs and emotions with sensitivity and understanding, it reinforces the perception of trustworthiness and reliability. This consistent behavior solidifies the foundation of trust and deepens the emotional connection between individuals. Conflict resolution through mind reading. Conflicts are an inevitable part of any relationship, but mind-reading techniques can significantly aid in resolving them more effectively. By accurately assessing the emotional and psychological states of others, you can address conflicts with greater sensitivity and insight. Reading nonverbal cues during a conflict, such as tense body language or changes in tone, provides valuable information about the underlying emotions driving the disagreement. This understanding allows you to approach the situation with empathy and avoid escalating tensions further. For instance, recognizing signs of frustration or hurt can guide you in choosing your words and actions more carefully, promoting a more constructive dialogue. Active listening and empathy are crucial for de-escalating conflicts. By acknowledging the other person's perspective and validating their feelings, you can create an environment conducive to resolution. Reflecting their emotions back to them and expressing understanding can help in diffusing negative emotions and fostering a collaborative approach to finding a solution. It is also important to be aware of your own emotional state and how it influences the conflict. Managing your own reactions and maintaining composure helps in approaching the situation with a clear and balanced perspective. This self-awareness, combined with an understanding of the other person's emotions, enables you to navigate conflicts more effectively and reach mutually satisfactory resolutions. In addition, practicing mindfulness and staying present during conflicts can enhance your ability to read and respond to the emotions of others. By focusing on the current moment and avoiding preconceived judgments, you can better understand the root causes of the conflict and work towards a resolution that addresses the underlying issues. Overall, applying mind-reading techniques in conflict situations helps in creating a more empathetic and understanding environment, which facilitates effective resolution and strengthens the relationship. Chapter 6. Mind reading in the professional world. Using mind reading in business and negotiation. In the professional world, the ability to read minds can be a powerful tool for gaining an edge in business and negotiation. By understanding the underlying thoughts and emotions of clients, colleagues, and competitors, you can make more informed decisions and craft strategies that align with their true interests and needs. When engaging with clients or potential partners, keen observation of their body language, tone, and facial expressions can reveal their level of interest and concerns. For instance, a client who frequently checks their watch or avoids eye contact might be feeling impatient or disinterested. Recognizing these signals allows you to address their concerns proactively, adjusting your approach to better meet their needs and expectations. In negotiations, understanding the emotional and psychological state of the other party can provide significant advantages. By reading subtle cues, such as changes in posture or hesitation in speech, you can gauge their comfort level with the terms being discussed. This insight enables you to adjust your negotiating tactics in real time, potentially identifying areas where concessions can be made or where further persuasion might be required. Additionally, observing competitors' reactions and interactions during meetings or industry events can offer valuable intelligence. For example, their responses to certain topics or their body language during discussions can reveal their strategic priorities or areas of vulnerability. This information can be used to refine your own business strategies, anticipate their moves, and position yourself more effectively in the marketplace. Leading and managing with emotional intelligence. Effective leadership and management often hinge on the ability to understand and respond to the emotions and needs of team members. Leaders who excel in emotional intelligence are adept at reading subtle cues from their teams, allowing them to manage and motivate more effectively. By observing nonverbal signals such as changes in team members' posture, facial expressions, or tone of voice, leaders can gain insights into their emotional states and overall morale. For instance, a sudden drop in enthusiasm or engagement during meetings might indicate underlying issues such as dissatisfaction or burnout. Addressing these issues promptly and empathetically can help in maintaining a positive and productive work environment. Great leaders also use their understanding of emotional cues to foster a supportive and collaborative team culture. By recognizing and acknowledging individual contributions and emotional responses, they can build trust and rapport with their team members. This approach encourages open communication and enhances team cohesion, which is essential for achieving collective goals. Managing conflicts within a team requires a nuanced understanding of the emotional dynamics at play. Leaders who are skilled at reading emotional cues can identify the root causes of conflicts and address them effectively. By empathizing with different perspectives and managing emotions constructively, leaders can resolve disputes in a manner that strengthens team relationships and promotes a harmonious work environment. Mind reading for sales and persuasion. In sales and persuasion, the ability to read potential clients is crucial for tailoring pitches and closing deals successfully. Understanding a client's emotional and psychological state enables sales professionals to craft presentations and proposals that resonate with their needs and desires. During sales interactions, observing a client's nonverbal cues can provide valuable insights into their level of interest and openness. For example, a client who nods frequently and maintains eye contact is likely engaged and receptive, while someone who appears distracted or disinterested may require a different approach to capture their attention. Adjusting your sales pitch based on these observations can enhance its effectiveness and increase the likelihood of a successful outcome. Persuasion involves not only presenting information, but also addressing any objections or concerns that clients may have. By reading emotional responses, such as hesitation or skepticism, you can identify areas where additional information or reassurance may be needed. Tailoring your responses to address these concerns directly can build trust and increase the chances of closing the deal. Furthermore, understanding the motivations and preferences of potential clients allows you to personalize your approach, making it more relevant and appealing. By aligning your pitch with their specific needs and desires, you demonstrate a deep understanding of their situation, which can significantly enhance your persuasiveness and credibility. In summary, applying mind-reading techniques in business and professional settings can lead to more effective communication, improved leadership, and greater success in sales and negotiation. By leveraging insights gained from observing emotional and psychological cues, you can navigate complex interactions with greater finesse and achieve more favorable outcomes. Chapter 7. Overcoming Challenges in Mind Reading. Common Mistakes in Interpretation. Mind reading, when practiced inaccurately, can lead to significant misinterpretations that may undermine communication and relationships. One of the common mistakes involves over-relying on isolated body language cues without considering the broader context. For instance, a person crossing their arms might be interpreted as defensiveness, but it could also simply indicate a personal habit or a response to feeling cold. Misinterpreting such signals without understanding the entire scenario can lead to incorrect assumptions and strained interactions. Another frequent error is attributing personal biases to the behavior of others. If you have a preconceived notion about someone, you might interpret their actions through that lens, rather than observing their behavior objectively. For example, if you believe someone is untrustworthy, you might read their neutral body language as suspicious, skewing your perception and interactions. It's crucial to remain aware of your own biases and strive for a balanced view when analyzing others' behavior. A common pitfall is the assumption that verbal and nonverbal signals are always congruent. Sometimes individuals may consciously or unconsciously display body language that contradicts their spoken words. For example, someone might verbally express enthusiasm while their body language shows reluctance or discomfort. Effective mind reading requires recognizing and understanding these discrepancies rather than relying solely on one form of communication. Cultural differences in nonverbal communication. Cultural contexts play a significant role in shaping nonverbal communication, and misunderstanding these cultural nuances can lead to misinterpretations. Body language that is considered polite or positive in one culture might be perceived differently in another. For instance, direct eye contact is seen as a sign of confidence in many Western cultures, but it can be viewed as disrespectful or confrontational in some Asian cultures. Gesture meanings also vary widely across cultures. A thumbs-up sign, which is generally positive in many Western countries, can be offensive in certain parts of the Middle East. Similarly, the use of space in communication, such as standing close to someone, might be seen as friendly or intrusive depending on cultural norms. Awareness of these cultural differences is essential to avoid miscommunication and foster respectful interactions. To navigate these cross-cultural variations effectively, it's important to educate yourself about the cultural backgrounds of the people you interact with. Observing and asking respectful questions about cultural practices can provide insights into their communication styles. Additionally, remaining open-minded and adaptable in your approach helps in adjusting to diverse cultural norms and reducing the risk of misunderstandings. Balancing logic and intuition. Balancing logic and intuition is critical to effective mind reading. Relying solely on intuition can lead to subjective interpretations, whereas an overemphasis on logical analysis might overlook the emotional nuances of interactions. Integrating both aspects helps in achieving a more accurate understanding of others' thoughts and feelings. To maintain objectivity, it's important to ground your interpretations in observable evidence rather than assumptions. For instance, rather than jumping to conclusions based on a single body language cue, consider the overall context and patterns of behavior. Analyzing multiple signals and cross-referencing them with verbal communication provides a more comprehensive view of the person's state. At the same time, intuition plays a crucial role in picking up subtle emotional cues that may not be immediately apparent through logic alone. Trusting your instincts can help in recognizing underlying emotions and unspoken concerns, but it should be balanced with rational analysis. Practicing mindfulness and self-awareness can aid in distinguishing between genuine intuitive insights and emotional biases. Maintaining an open and reflective approach allows you to adjust your interpretations as more information becomes available. This adaptability ensures that your mind-reading skills remain effective and accurate, accommodating both the logical and intuitive aspects of understanding others. Chapter 8. Practical exercises to sharpen your mind-reading skills. Daily observation exercises. Enhancing mind-reading skills begins with a commitment to daily observation. Incorporating practical exercises into your routine can help you develop a keen eye for nonverbal cues and subtle signals. One effective exercise is to focus on different social settings each day, such as observing interactions at cafes, meetings, or public spaces. Pay attention to how people's body language changes in response to various situations. Look for shifts in posture, facial expressions, and gestures. By consciously noting these signals, you start to recognize patterns and learn how emotions and intentions are often communicated non-verbally. Another exercise involves observing a specific non-verbal cue throughout the day. For instance, choose to focus on eye contact and note when people make or avoid eye contact. Observe how these patterns correlate with their emotional states or interactions. This focused observation helps in building an awareness of how seemingly minor cues can convey significant information. Practicing active listening is also crucial. In conversations, concentrate not only on the words being spoken, but also on the accompanying nonverbal signals. Notice if a person's tone of voice aligns with their verbal message and how their body language complements or contradicts their words. This holistic approach aids in developing a more accurate understanding of the speaker's true intentions and emotions. Role-playing and mind-reading scenarios. Role-playing exercises can provide a dynamic way to practice mind-reading skills in a controlled environment. Organize role-playing sessions with friends or colleagues where each participant adopts different emotional states or scenarios. For example, one person might simulate a negotiation, while another pretends to be under stress. As participants act out these scenarios, practice interpreting their nonverbal cues and responses. These role-playing sessions can be structured with specific objectives. For instance, one exercise could focus on identifying signs of discomfort or reluctance, while another could emphasize detecting enthusiasm or agreement. By repeatedly engaging in these exercises, you build the ability to read and react to a variety of emotional and psychological signals effectively. Additionally, incorporating feedback into role-playing sessions enhances the learning experience. After each scenario, discuss with participants what cues were observed and how accurately they were interpreted. This reflection helps in refining your mind-reading skills and gaining insights into different perspectives on the same signals. Journaling your observations. Keeping a journal dedicated to your mind-reading practice can significantly accelerate your skill development. Begin by documenting your daily observations, noting the nonverbal cues and verbal signals you encountered, along with your interpretations and any outcomes. Include details such as the context, the specific behaviors observed, and your thoughts on their meanings. Regularly reflecting on these journal entries allows you to track patterns and trends in your observations. Analyze any recurring cues or behaviors and how they align with your interpretations. This reflective practice helps in identifying areas of strength and opportunities for improvement in your mind-reading abilities. Journaling also aids in developing a deeper understanding of your own biases and tendencies. By reviewing your observations and interpretations over time, you can become more aware of any recurring assumptions or misinterpretations. This awareness facilitates a more objective approach in future observations and interactions. Engage in periodic reviews of your journal to assess your progress. Set aside time to revisit past entries and evaluate how your mind-reading skills have evolved. This reflective practice reinforces learning and helps in setting goals for further development. Through consistent practice, role-playing, and journaling, you can sharpen your mind-reading skills, enhance your observational accuracy, and gain deeper insights into the nuances of human communication. Chapter 9. Ethical Considerations in Mind Reading. The Power of Knowing Others' Thoughts. Understanding the internal states of others through mind-reading techniques grants a profound insight into their emotions and intentions. This power brings with it a significant responsibility. It's essential to approach this capability with sensitivity and integrity, recognizing that the ability to discern others' feelings and thoughts can profoundly impact their lives and your interactions with them. Using mind reading to foster deeper connections and improve communication can be beneficial, but it's crucial to navigate this power with care. Being attuned to someone's emotional state can lead to empathetic and supportive interactions. However, it can also create a dynamic where you might unintentionally influence or alter someone's behavior based on your interpretations. This influence must be handled with ethical consideration to avoid any form of exploitation or undue pressure. The power to understand others' thoughts should be wielded to support and uplift, rather than to manipulate or control. Respect for their autonomy and personal space remains paramount, even when you possess insights into their internal states. Maintaining respect and boundaries. Ethical mind reading involves maintaining respect for others' boundaries and privacy. It is imperative to use your skills with a focus on enhancing relationships rather than exploiting them. Ensuring that your insights into someone's thoughts and feelings are not used to manipulate their decisions or actions is fundamental to ethical practice. Respecting boundaries involves being mindful of when and how you use your observations. For example, if you sense someone is uncomfortable, it is important to approach the situation with care and not to push for information or responses that they are not ready to share. Avoiding invasive questioning or actions based on your interpretations respects their privacy and autonomy. Ethical practice also means acknowledging and accepting that some aspects of a person's internal world may remain private. Mind reading should not be used to pry into personal matters or to uncover secrets that individuals prefer to keep confidential. Always approach others with empathy and an awareness that their thoughts and feelings are their own, deserving of respect and discretion. When to trust and when to back off. Understanding the limits of mind reading is crucial to maintaining ethical interactions. While your ability to interpret nonverbal cues and emotional signals can offer valuable insights, it is important to recognize when your interpretations might be incorrect or when they might be crossing ethical lines. There are times when it is appropriate to trust your observations and use them to guide your actions or decisions. For instance, if someone exhibits signs of distress, it is often beneficial to offer support or inquire gently about their well-being. However, there are also moments when it is essential to step back and allow clear, direct communication to occur. Avoid assuming that your insights are always accurate or that they fully encompass another person's experiences or desires. In situations where your interpretations might lead to sensitive discussions or potential conflicts, it is important to approach these matters with caution. Clear and open communication should always be the primary method for understanding others' thoughts and feelings. Mind reading should complement, not replace, direct conversations where individuals have the opportunity to express themselves fully and honestly. By balancing your skills with respect for personal boundaries and an awareness of the limits of mind reading, you ensure that your interactions remain ethical and constructive, fostering trust and positive connections. Conclusion: mastering the art of mind reading. Mind reading is not a static skill but a dynamic journey of ongoing development. As you practice and refine your abilities to interpret nonverbal cues and emotional states, you embark on a path of continuous learning. This journey involves consistently observing, reflecting, and adapting your techniques. Each interaction offers a new opportunity to enhance your understanding and application of mind reading. Over time, your proficiency in detecting subtle signals and reading between the lines will deepen. This process requires dedication, openness to feedback, and a willingness to embrace the nuances of human behavior. The more you engage with others and apply your skills in various contexts, the more refined your perceptions will become. Embracing this journey with a mindset of lifelong learning will lead to profound growth in your abilities. Mastering mind reading has far-reaching benefits that extend into every facet of your life. Gaining insights into the thoughts and feelings of those around you enriches your relationships and communication. It fosters deeper connections and enhances your capacity to empathize, which strengthens personal and professional bonds. In relationships, understanding others' emotions and intentions allows for more meaningful interactions and conflict resolution. This heightened awareness leads to more authentic connections, where trust and mutual respect thrive. In professional settings, the ability to interpret subtle cues can improve collaboration, negotiation, and leadership. It provides a competitive edge by enabling you to navigate complex interpersonal dynamics with greater ease and effectiveness. Overall, the art of mind reading contributes to a more nuanced and empathetic approach to interactions, facilitating success and fulfillment in various areas of life. As you apply the techniques and principles of mind reading, remember that patience and persistence are key. The skill of understanding others is honed through consistent practice and reflection. Each encounter presents an opportunity to test and refine your abilities. Approach this practice with an open heart and a willingness to learn from every experience. Recognize that mastery is not an end, but a continual process of improvement. Celebrate your progress and remain committed to your development. By integrating mind reading techniques into your daily life with patience, you will gradually unlock the full potential of this powerful skill. Keep experimenting, observing, and engaging with those around you. Over time, your expertise will grow, and the art of mind reading will become an invaluable part of how you connect with and understand others.